Hello everyone, Namaskar. I'm Monica and you're watching Mom's Advice. Friends, friends, in a few months, all youngster will be facing examination. Remember, there is no wrong or right way when it comes to studies. एक ही बात का आपको ध्यान रखना है, जब आप पढ़ाई करते हैं तो सबकी सुन सकते हैं, लेकिन आपको पढ़ाई उसी ढंग से करनी है जिसमें आप कंफर्टेबल हो। स्टाइल वही अपनाना है जिसमें आपकी बॉडी एडजस्ट कर सकती हो। इसलिए जो भी आपके बड़े बताते हैं, be it your mom, dad, elders, teachers, mentors, that's not wrong, but same time cannot be followed blindly. They speak of their experience. You need to respect their experience, but same time use your brain to take the best which suits your body. If you remember, last time I spoke on how do we prepare for examination. Now, the second episode of examination, I'm going to share my advice on smart study. So friends, today let's learn how do we study smart for examination and learn the best effective methods of smart study.
Firstly, you want to remember to use variety in your studies. Let's say अगर हर रोज ब्रेकफास्ट, लंच, डिनर में वैरायटी ना हो, एक ही डिश तीनों टाइम खानी पड़े तो हमें खाने में बिल्कुल मज़ा नहीं आएगा, टेस्ट भी नहीं आएगा और खाना खाने का मन भी नहीं करेगा. So friends, I suggest making use of different resources or methods you will learn faster this way, like referring your notes, textbook, online videos. Do practice problems from a variety of sources. I promise you will enjoy your studies. You know why? Because different resources हमारे brain के different parts को stimulate करते हैं, and the more areas of the brain that are activated, the more likely it is that you will understand and retain the information. Next is scientifically proven method. Remember 3 R's: read, recite and review, which is also commonly known as hide, write and compare. Normally यह कहा जाता है कि आप 20% read करें और 80% recite. For example, if you need to learn any concept, first go through the concept, then cover up the concept and try writing it again from memory or reciting it loud. When finished, compare your answer with the given concept in your book. When you study a new concept for the first time, you retain only 80% of it. If you review the same concept within 24 hours, fortunately, this effect is cumulative. So after a week, you may retain 100% of the same information after only 5 minutes of review. है ना तरीका एकदम smart? Next we come to the point number 3, that is study in chunks and study multiple subjects each day rather than focusing on just 1 or 2 subjects for a longer duration. It's best to vary your material rather than zeroing persistently on one subject. For example, if you are preparing for exams in mathematics, English and chemistry, it's better to study a small portion of each subject every day, following the 50 plus 5 minutes break rule. If you recall, last session I had spoken about take a break for staying positive. So take a break of 5 minutes in every 1 hour of study. Don't focus on one subject for too long. Switching over topics, subjects will surely help you to learn faster. Then comes 4th point, practice practical skills. इसलिए नहीं क्योंकि practice makes us perfect. मुझे लगता है कि जब भी हम प्रैक्टिस करते हैं तो कुछ ना कुछ तो स्टडीज में प्रोग्रेस होती है। जहाँ प्रोग्रेस होती है, भले ही स्लो प्रोग्रेस क्यों ना हो, लेकिन उस प्रोग्रेस से ही सक्सेस मिलती है। So practice will give you the opportunity to put your theoretical knowledge to work and make sure you understand how to solve problems or write effective answers. It will also give you a sense of how long it will take to you to finish the test. So you can budget your time properly. So spare some of your study time to actually practice. Next, another important and a very smart way to follow a timetable to have an organized study plan. Time is the most valuable thing. Therefore, it is important that time be used effectively, especially before exams. Creating your own study timetable is good, but sticking to and following without fail is must. Drawing a study plan helps you in developing good study habits and establishing good study routines, which ensures that all subjects are studied. Next point, you all to know that when you study, study like a teacher. जब भी पढ़ाई करें, टीचर के जैसे करें, because when you teach, you learn faster. After you finish some topic, try to teach the same topic using a board or rough sheet. When you teach, you learn methods of recall, and the topic will make more sense to you and will retain for longer time. So by teaching, you will learn faster with much clarity. Next point number 7 is stick to print. Always prefer a hard copy over a digital device when it comes to study. जो लर्निंग बुक से होती है वो डिजिटल डिवाइस से नहीं हो सकती. Next, always remember, don't overlearn. Once you have revised and practiced without making a single mistake, you may call it a day or move to the next. Overlearning one task makes it difficult to learn the second or another task, as the brain locks down for the sake of preserving mastery of the first task. Next, you should remember, stop multitasking. पढ़ाई के साथ साथ अगर आप और भी काम करना पसंद करते हैं, then that's not good. However smart you are, multitasking extends your study time and ultimately you may damage your grades. The next very important number 10, make connections and use smart methods. आपको पता है स्लो लर्नर और क्विक लर्नर में केवल पढ़ाई करने के तरीके का डिफरेंस होता है. स्लो लर्नर मेमोराइज करता है और फास्ट लर्नर आइडियाज के बीच में कनेक्शन बनाता है, विच इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड कंटेक्चुअल लर्निंग. इसमें अपना ही एक मेथड होता है याद करने का. सम स्टूडेंट्स record all important information in a sheet of paper or board and make their own method to remember them sequentially. They also make use of the smart methods, let's say like analogy. They use analogies to illustrate the concept. For example, a bonsai tree is just like a big tree but smaller. They use mnemonic and acronym. They create something short that is useful and easily memorable. Let's say for acronym, if we take the example of coordinating conjunctions, जो दो sentences को join करते हैं, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. It is very easy to remember. If you take the first letter of each word, it makes a word fanboys. So just remember fanboys. You remember all the coordinating conjunctions. Then they also make use of image-word association, relating an unfamiliar term to a familiar image, which helps them to remember things very easily. They even use storytelling, which helps them to remember more conceptual ideas like why and how something occurred. So these were the 10 tips to study smart. It's time to ponder. Let's recap. Number 1, use variety in study. Number 2, remember 3 R's: read, recite, and review. Number 3, study in chunks. Number 4, practice practical skill. Number 5, follow a timetable. Number 6, study like a teacher. Number 7, stick to print. Number 8, don't overlearn. Number 9, stop multitasking. And number 10, make connections and use smart methods.
So friends, ये सारे smart methods एक साथ तो सीखे नहीं जा सकते. So now it's time you may take my advice. You cannot imbibe all smart methods overnight. You should strive for progress and work towards the strategies to make your study much smarter and apt for you. So that's it for today's video. Hope you like the advice. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe Mom's Advice. Stay safe, stay tuned. See you. Bye-bye. Namaskar. Jai Hind.